altitude of 50,000 feet. The suborbital vehicle detaches and flies up to 100 kilometers above the surface. Building spaceships isn't easy, it's literally rocket science. The suborbital vehicle travels at speeds of up to 3,000 miles per hour in very extreme conditions. The proximate cause of the crash was human error, but an investigation also found that Virgin Galactic had inadequate safety procedures. Despite this disaster, Branson wasn't prepared to give up. He was fully committed to making a space tourism dream a reality. By this point, the company had already accepted deposits from approximately 600 people, totaling $80 million. They had the passengers already lined up. They just needed to make the spacecraft safe enough to get FAA approval. So they created a new spacecraft called the VSS Unity. Over the next few years, they implemented various improvements to the design to make it safer than its ill-fated predecessor. In June of 2021, 17 years after the company was founded, 14 years after their initial target, and 7 years after the VSS Enterprise disaster, Galactic finally received approval to fly paying customers into space. In 2022, they also raised the ticket price up to $450,000. Charging so much money for each ticket, it should be easy for Virgin Galactic to make profits, right? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Flying a spaceship isn't like driving a car, or even like flying an airplane. The extreme speeds, acceleration, and changes in temperature cause immense stress on the spacecraft's wings and other components. After each flight, all parts of the spacecraft must be meticulously inspected, and damaged parts must be either repaired or replaced. According to a shareholder lawsuit, Virgin Galactic spacecraft were not designed for regular space travel. Allegedly, the VMS Eve, which is the name of the mothership, had cracks on its wings after every flight. Eventually, so many cracks appeared that the wings looked like spiderwebs or cracked eggshells. While we don't know if these specific allegations are true, it's indisputable that a significant amount of maintenance needs to be done in between each flight. This necessitates a very infrequent launch schedule. When they received FAA approval in 2021, they didn't actually fly their first paying customers into space until 2 years later, in June of 2023. Between June of 2023 and June of 2024, they flew a grand total of 7 commercial space flights, carrying 23 paying customers. That's an average of about 1 flight every 2 months. The VSS Unity has a maximum capacity of 4 passengers. The passengers who reserved their tickets before 2014 paid $250,000. Passengers who reserved after 2022 paid $450,000. Even using the $450,000 number, Virgin Galactic can make at most. The company has operating expenses of more than $100 million per quarter. Even if the contribution margin was 100%, which it's not, Virgin Galactic would need to fly 55 flights per quarter just to cover its operating costs. That's more than 1 flight every 2 days. The VSS Unity isn't even capable of doing 1 flight per month. Maintaining the spacecraft, maintaining the facilities, etc. costs a huge amount of money. For all this to work, Virgin Galactic needs to send many hundreds, if not thousands of paying customers into space every year. Currently, Virgin Galactic's only working suborbital vehicle is the VSS Unity. Given the high maintenance burden and inability to launch frequently, the company retired it. It will no longer be flying. Instead, they're going to develop a new spacecraft called the Delta class. The Delta class will have seats for 6 passengers. And importantly, it will be able to fly 8 times per month. Finally, once the Delta class ships are ready, they plan to increase the ticket price again to $600,000. If you multiply 6 passengers 8 times a month at $600,000 each, that's $29 million of revenue per month. This is more than 10 times greater. This certainly looks good on a PowerPoint presentation. But how realistic is it? Their target is for the Delta class spacecraft to commence commercial operations in 2026. To be clear, the Delta class spaceship does not yet exist. As of February of this year, they were still building the facility that will assemble the Delta class. We don't even know what the Delta class is going to look like. Currently, all we have are vague CGI renderings. On June 5th of 2024, also has $425 million of debt coming due in February of 2027. Investors have completely lost faith in market cap has shrunk to just $160 million. Given how tiny their market cap is, it's hard to imagine how they could raise $425 million to